All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready for some Jonesboro basketball. Glad to have everybody with us. I'm Bo McMichael with Jennifer Colbert live here on the Score 58 Network. We'll have a little fun. We got Morrow in Jonesboro, Morrow in black uniforms, and Jonesboro in white uniforms. Let's get ready to get started. Jennifer, how you doing this evening?
Doing great, Bo. How about yourself?
I'm doing all right. We're getting ready for senior night here at Jonesboro High School. Glad to get us started here. I'll throw up the scoreboard here when we get a chance. We're keeping it live here on the Score 58 Network. Glad to have you with us here. If anything's wrong, you can go ahead and reach out to Jennifer Colbert. She's located at Score Sports 58.
That's right.
All right, we'll have a lot of fun. A little putback right there, a little second chance point. So I do enjoy that. I will be asking Jennifer Colbert a great deal of questions about senior night. She had a chance to really have that opportunity, being a senior and playing. I'll be quiet.
And that is a 1,000-point for Queen Adams, number 33 for Jonesboro.
That is awesome. Did you ever have an opportunity, I'll ask this, to range any to that point of rebounds, assists, points?
No, I mean, nobody on my team got to the 1,000-point
Right.
kind of threshold.
And I'm so glad that they honor that and they take a stop and say, hey, that's 1,000 points in the season-wise to be able to do that. That's a lot in that direction. Once again, I'm Bo McMichael with Jennifer Colbert. Glad to have everybody with us here on the Score 58 Network. We're live here on good old-fashioned multiple conduits on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Vimeo. So sit back and enjoy. And we'll be here for 2 games and a senior acknowledgement between both games.
And rebounded by the Cardinals going up the floor.
I love our multiple camera angles, and it keeps going back and forth a little bit, so we'll get caught up here in just a minute.
That was almost a travel over on the
Almost a travel.
sideline.
Okay, first of all, Miss Colbert, Coach Colbert, how can you have almost a travel? It's like they bought the passes to go across the country, but they were like, oh, we're going to hold up? Well, I mean, what's the difference in that?
She jumped in the air, was going
She
to pass the
jumped in
ball,
the
and
air.
then realized that she was up in the air with nobody to pass to, so she just let the ball drop. So it was
That's
almost a travel.
That's the only thing you can do on that part. You're exactly right. You're just like, yeah, we're going to hold off on this. This is a bad idea, and we're going to hold on with it in that manner. So we got region tournament starting in 2 weeks. This is the last regular season game for the Jonesboro Cardinals, Lady Cardinals. And the region tournament actually takes place here live from Jonesboro High School. We'll hopefully have the dates for you and get all that information out to you next week here on the Score 58 Network. She said, I'm taking it downtown because that's where all the fun happens. That's an old 60s/70s song.
Okay.
And you know that, right?
I believe so.
Oh, I'm going to have to find it and play it for you now that you had that.
That was a great block on the inside by Jonesboro, but rebounded by Morrow. Goes up for the layup, no good. It's really hard to see these Morrow numbers.
No, you're not getting that, buddy. Jennifer, they're incognito, okay? They ran camouflage on that part. If they'd have just put a white outline on that.
Oh, that was a great steal and pass by Queen Adams. Almost gets it to her player coming up the court, but goes out of bounds. But that was a great steal by her. And Jonesboro has now gone into a trap. They get the first steal, and a three-point attempt is over the rim and no good. And we
got our first time out of the game, and just like that, we can take a pause here. And we got clock on the board. And see a little bit of the region standings here when everything kind of breaks loose right now. You have Lovejoy on top with 11-2, Woodward followed by 11-2. They're matching up here soon, so we're going to find out what's going to happen in this direction. Forest Park, then Rockdale, then Alcovy, then Jonesboro, Mundy's Mill, then Morrow. Right now, Jonesboro and Morrow sitting in the bottom tier, and it's a total of 7 teams in the region. Did I say that correctly? Am I looking at that right?
Yeah, you did that right.
All right, that's good on that part. So it will be interesting to see how that all particularly plays out right now.
Yeah, I mean, we got a chance to see Lovejoy play last week.
It almost makes me want to look. Okay, I'll look up there on the old Max Prep and find out who. I did not print it when I put the region standings up to find out who's who's Lovejoy playing over the next. Here we go.
That was a steal by number 5, Caleb Bass.
Oh wow! So tonight. Sorry, Jennifer, I apologize. Woodward and Lovejoy are battling it out at Lovejoy High School.
Okay.
For realistically the number 1 seed.
Yep, most definitely.
Oh, that's
three
yeah.
years sitting on top with the same record, so.
That'll be very interesting to see what comes of that. One sitting at 19-5, the other one sitting at 20-4. We got Alcovy versus Forest Park. And then we have Rockdale versus Mundy's Mill. And then our game right now, Morrow versus Jonesboro. All should be decided, which will be interesting to see. If Brother Man goes to the scoreboard one more time, I'm going to give a phone call to Miss Maya, who is our producer on site. Cedric, if you're listening, stop going to the scoreboard. We just trying to have a little fun out here.
I just want to make sure that I'm doing it right. That's what that is.
I appreciate that honesty. He's like, I'm doing my job. Every time I don't want him to yell at me. And I know he wants to yell at me every now and then, so that I understand that he does not want to do that. Jennifer, talk to me a little bit about region playoffs. Did you ever have a chance to play in the region playoffs?
Yeah, we made it to, I want to say, the second round in the region playoffs.
Where if you would have won, you would have advanced to the state playoffs?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, it's been many moons ago. It does. I mean, I don't want to say I see some gray girl, but I'm just saying it out loud.
I got a few. I have a few.
You have, you know. I have more than a few, but I appreciate that. So you get that idea that when it comes to region tournament, all these, when we give this whole concept of their record and how everything's looking, doesn't necessarily matter. It's all about what you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all about playing for seeding, and then you either need to win 1 or 2 games to get yourself to the state playoffs. Deep 3 by Jonesboro. And Jonesboro could find a way. I mean, they really can. I mean, they are a couple of wins away against Rockdale, Alcovy, and Jonesboro. And it all depends on, I mean, to me, Jonesboro's the dark horse for the Lady Cardinals because they get to play at home.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing, too, home court advantage, and they definitely have a chance because they're sitting at a spot where when the big boys kind of go against each other, they're gonna knock each other out. So they have a chance to get in. Like I said, with home court advantage and everything else, they have a chance. So they just have to play their best games. This is time to bring out your best performances out.
I would think so, in that sense of saying, hey, I wonder how it's going to play out for them. Are they going to be able to do what they need to do when it comes to game situation?
Right.
Oh, wow.
They're doing a great job right now.
Underhanded layup right there. And she hit that corner like she's been doing this all year. So,
I mean, they're having a field day right now with Morrow turnovers. They're getting steals after steals. So it's a good thing that they're taking advantage of those fast break opportunities and putting the ball in.
I would agree. Once again, we're live here at Jonesboro High School. I'm Bo McMichael with Jennifer Colbert. 3 minutes and some change remaining here in the first quarter. Morrow High School taking on Jonesboro Lady Cardinals. Jonesboro up 11-4 here in the first quarter. The last game of the regular season. Next time we'll see these teams compete will be live for the Region 3 6A tournament. and she just said, I'm going to down a 3, and you're going to put 14 on the point spread right there.
Wide open. They left her wide open. She said, hey, why not? It's a second chance. And we have a foul on Jonesboro.
Now, did you ever film in the old Jonesboro gymnasium?
I did one game.
I brought you to one game to that?
It was one game.
I'm so proud of me that I brought you to one game on that part. What did you think about that old gymnasium?
It was
an old gymnasium.
It was old.
I mean, you've been to a lot of gymnasiums, especially in the Decatur world. I'll send you to the Cavs stadiums all the time, gymnasiums where they don't have this overlay. I mean, we got 2 layers here, and sometimes it's like, hey, run an extension cord. And hope it works out.
It was very, I'll say, precarious getting up to the little spot where you film it.
Did I send you up to that?
Yeah.
Was I down bottom?
No, I think I was. I don't think we were doing
solo by
broadcast,
yourself?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, look at me. I'm outside my zone right there, sending you out there. There for a while, I transitioned to where I was on the ground calling games.
Okay.
Back in the day, but yeah, we had to climb up, but nobody was ever in your way.
That is true. I mean, that was I was appreciative of because, you know, these gyms get packed and get full.
Oh, they
and
do.
It's kind of hard to film around people's heads. So.
It's frustrating. It is so frustrating.
But, I mean, that game, I don't remember who they were playing, but it was a packed gym, and it was rocking. So.
All right, and that's the neatest thing that this gym has not yet seen. I'll be curious to see what they can do in the region tournament for both teams. I feel like as we get a turnover here for Jonesboro getting the basketball, I feel like both I would love to see a packed house. To me, that's the most enjoyable. But I think sometimes you get the packed house because it's a small gym.
Yep.
You know,
I mean, of course, it's a lot easier to pack out a small gym.
I mean, we're talking double layers right here.
Yeah, this Jonesboro gym is one of the bigger gyms I've been in. I think it kind of reminds me of Salem, although Salem's gym is pretty old. It still has that double layer.
Oh, does it? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Morrow's new gym, you haven't had a chance to be there yet.
No.
But it's pretty interesting looking. It reminds me of McIntosh's gym where they have seats behind the goal.
Okay.
And there's not a lot of space.
Okay.
So it's nothing like Tri-Cities where it's a dome in that situation. So once again, we're a 16-4 here, live here in the first quarter. Glad to have you with us here. We'll be here for 2 games tonight, live on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Vimeo, and our Score 58 Network site. Please sit back and enjoy yourselves. Glad to have you with us.
So Morrow taking the ball out from the side. They've had a lot of troubles getting an offense established with Jonesboro's quick hands. They've been kind of poking and prodding and getting that ball out at every point.
Well, they've struggled all season on that part.
Yeah.
And year 2, I won't name age right now, but when I was in high school, back in days when people went up the mountains twice to go to school.
Right.
Okay. Morrow Lady Mustangs were the bomb.
Okay.
They state championship. They were something. Nobody wanted to play them. Okay, and of course, my high school, Lovejoy High School at that point, was young, and we always had to go play them and this and that.
Okay.
And they were, like the old Morrow Mustangs Hall of Fame when you would walk through it. When I go to the coach's office, it was full of pictures of them, of those ladies, and they were just something to see. They ran a offense like you would never see. In this point, not to say anything against the Mustangs right now. It's 2 different worlds, 2 different entities.
I mean, every school kind of goes through that rebuild.
That cycle.
And, I mean, because even when I go watch, when we were filming like a DeKalb County game, when I go back and look, and I'm like, the teams that I played against when I was in high school, they were like Chamblee, Tucker, all of those played dominant. Like you go in there, it's
not necessarily now.
Not at all now.
No.
So it's like it's interesting seeing how cycles go by and how, you know, just the different caliber of players that come through that you have to keep trying to build a team.
I'd agree. I mean, hands down in that sense of seeing what comes up and where. And that's where when certain teams really build up that legacy, you go, so they really have that going for them, where they have that consistency throughout.
right, so winding down to the end of the first quarter, Jonesboro now leading 18-7 as ball goes off the front of the rim and out of bounds. Looks like Morrow might have been the last ones to touch it, so Jonesboro is going to retain possession of the ball.
18-7, Jonesboro has the lead right now.
Queen Adams battling in the post. Gets her own rebound twice, goes up and makes it.
And just like that, we have a little break in the process. I want to remind everybody here that tunes in to watch us. If you get a chance and you're interested in joining the Score Sports family, always reach out to us. It's the best thing in the world you can do for us right now is to reach out to us here and contact us at scoresports.com. We'd love to have you part of the family. It's one of those nice things that we do across the board. And make sure you tune in with us here on the Score 58 Network. Always looking for announcers, somebody to really realistically replace Jennifer and myself. It's the most important thing to do.
Yeah, you know, just try to find your replacement while we're on the air.
That's the best thing. Somebody always, hey, we said that thing to 8 minutes. The one thing they always said is if you're not looking for your replacement, you're not doing your job. And I don't agree with that. But you also, you know, it's the old, like the star quarterback. They were like, I'm not training this person that's backing me up.
I mean, nobody wants to train their replacement.
No, but you always, I will say this, in any industry that I've ever worked with, they always state you want to, your goal is to always find, that's a deep three off the mark, is to find that replacement.
Yeah.
Make sure you stay with us at halftime. We'll do a little kind of insight conversation across the board, bringing up some stats here for the first quarter. Here in just a minute, figure out where everybody's at. And if I ever found out who sang Downtown, I would have placed that, but I was not successful in that matter. I apologize for those people that are screaming, going, I know who sings Downtown.
That's going to be a turnover on Morrow, double dribble. So, like I said, man, that Jonesboro defense is hard for Morrow to get anything
definitely
going.
picked it up. I mean, for it to be a 20-7 on that mark, I would agree that they've picked it up as time went on.
I mean, they're guarding you at half court, just waiting for you to turn that ball over because they know they don't have really strong ball handlers.
No.
So that pass is going to be a great decision, but off the mark and goes out of bounds.
All right, you got to give me a definition of great decision.
Okay, so
you would say it's a great decision. I'm gonna pick at you a little bit. It's 20-7. I can ask those questions right now.
It was a driving kick. So when she drove to the basket down the lane,
and she kicked it out.
Right, she kicked it out because all the defense converged on her. It was wide open on the 3-point line.
Right.
But the pass was just a little bit away from her teammate.
Okay. As long as I'm not getting, I'm just asking questions.
No, yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate that. That's good. Our man that's doing our stats on the back end and wants to kill us at this point. He's like, Bo, I don't have time to do any of those stats. I mean, he is a machine. I'm going to put up, after our first timeout here in the second quarter, I'm going to put up, he was able to throw up the first quarter stats.
Okay.
And that's better than anything I can do at any point in my life. I cannot multitask more than anything.
We have another turnover on Morrow.
Now, when you were at Arabian Mountain, what year did you graduate? I'm aging you right now. It's okay. I got no problem with that based on your birthday just passed. So
2013. So it's truly 10 years this year.
Oh, wow. Okay. Are you going to do the 10-year reunion?
I might, yeah.
Really? What day is it? Have they?
It's actually supposed to be in June, so.
That's nice they did that. I was class president back in the day in '93. Okay. But I appreciate you aging me. I'll age you. Okay. So in '93, nobody ever really explained, hey, by the way, if you're going to be the president of your class, you're in charge of all of the good old-fashioned reunions.
Yep.
And I might not have ran
Ooh.
based on my age now at 48.
If you would have known then what you know
Yeah,
now.
excuse me for coughing. I don't. Ooh, off the mark right there. It's nice to see that look on that part to really be able to see the off the mark.
But yeah, no, running for a class officer is just not one of my.
I don't know why I did it my junior year, going into my senior year. I feel like it was probably stupidity in its full faction. But we're running into our 30th class year reunion because we were in '93, so
Yep.
it'd be 30th. So I'm coming with this whole. I know I need to put something together.
Okay.
The '92 and '93 group said, "Hey, let's get together." And I didn't. I was in the middle of football season. It's hard to do anything in the fall,
Right.
for my based on what I do for a living. So I'm working on a alternative plan. Jumper off the mark, air ball.
And Queen Adams has been everywhere,
She has.
all over the court tonight.
She's excited. She got her 1,000 points. She's ready to go.
Yeah, 1,000-point senior night. Have
Yeah.
a game.
Hey, yeah. Hey, look at if you can pull up her description on her presentation. See, do we have an idea of where she's going yet?
Nope.
Okay. Undecided. Nothing.
Nothing.
To be determined.
There we go.
You know, I like that.
It's weighing her options as of right now, we'll say.
I appreciate that on that part. I love the silence, and then comes back.
That was another rebound by Queen Adams.
All right. I'm going to go away and come back to you here in just a minute and let you call the game because I'm going to check on their already.
Wide open three missed, but a turnover and a great steal by Jonesboro. Get them 2 more points, bringing the score to 23-9 here in the middle of the second quarter. Morrow trying to find some daylight to get a shot up. And we have a whistle and a foul. So Morrow's going to go to the line for 2. See if they can cut into this lead at the foul line. Jonesboro's been all over them on defense, but maybe they can capitalize on getting foul shots. First one is no good. Second shot is up and off the back of the rim and out of bounds. So Morrow is still going to have the ball.
I didn't leave you that long, so that was good. She was
Welcome
like,
back.
nothing better when the producer goes, yeah, I've noticed some noise issues as well. I'm having some issues with it. I'm like, I know. Now let's get this thing back up and running.
And now the ball is going to go to Jonesboro, so I'm not sure what happened right there on the inbound. Jonesboro bringing the ball up the court. Dribbling around. Queen Adams is a little bit of trouble trying to avoid the 5-second call, and we have a
Worst foul you ever had, basketball player? We're just going to reminisce on your life right now.
I see.
I am, mainly because, not because of the 23-9, because it's senior night.
Right.
And everybody remembers their last senior game. I mean, you do remember it in your brain, even though it was 10 years ago.
I remember the senior night kind of presentation of it all,
But you don't remember the game
the
itself.
game. No, my memory is not great.
No, I understand that. Time zones are not your forte, Jennifer
It's
Colbert.
always the time zones.
Jennifer, I had you live on the air. 30,000 people are not listening to you,
It was
okay?
bad.
And you gave me time zones, and I was like,
bad.
oh. I mean, there are things the drone has fell out of the sky, and there are no snacks on the boat.
I had a brain fart. It's,
no, you had brain diarrhea. You didn't have a fart, girl. Okay, and we don't even get politically correct across the board here of watching that on that part. But no, you're
That's
good.
a great drive, once again by Queen Adams. But, I remember the presentation, walking out, getting our gifts and whatnot, but as far as the game is concerned, not too much there. So 3 minutes and 30 seconds left in the first half, as Jonesboro has so far dominated this game with another 2 points.
My man Teddy, he put up the shooting percentage before I put the stats up, and the first time it was 0-0 shooting percentage. I'm like, I don't think that works.
Well, somebody scored something.
Yeah, they did, and then he came back and I looked and that he had another one on that part.
And
so
that's going to be a charge on Jonesboro.
And we're almost in the end of the second quarter, but I wanted to bring up the first quarter stats because we're doing a great job keeping them across the board. Field goal percentage, three-point percentage, shooting percentage. Really, I mean, to me, what is the key thing you look at, Jennifer, right now?
Yeah, right now is the shooting percentage and the turnovers.
Yeah, I think so. I agree with you wholeheartedly. The turnovers is a thing that really is kicking in my mind here. Once again, our stats brought to you by Score 58 Network. Teddy Robinson, we call him T-Rob, back in the crib. All right, here we go. Now he just stopped doing stats for me right when I did that. So.
Yeah, it's like, nope.
No, I'm not doing that anymore.
But yeah, no, I mean, the turnovers definitely, we saw Jonesboro.
It's 7-3, you know.
Saw Jonesboro pick up their defense. They started to do a full court press for a second, but they kind of bagged off and just half court man and just making sure it's really hard for them to find an open teammate. So we have Morrow.
It's still
at the
13-6 turnover-wise.
Misses the first.
(31-11) here in the second quarter. Jonesboro in white, Morrow in the black and green and gold. That'd be Vegas gold. Live from Jonesboro High School.
Another whistle and a travel on Morrow. Started moving a little bit too fast. Got to put the ball down before you can start running.
What? These rules are incredible. You just kind of make them up as you go, huh?
Yeah, you would think so.
You would think so. I appreciate your honesty. You just make them up as you go. Yeah, that's the plan. Now, Miss Colbert, do you watch NBA basketball? Do you like NBA basketball?
Yeah, I mean, I watch games every now and then. I mostly watch Hawks games the most, but you know, I'll flip on just a random NBA game every now and then.
Okay, it's okay. I understand that. You know what today is, right? Okay, I'm quizzing you right now. Do you know, I'm asking questions because today's a very important day, and you don't know what it is, and you're trying to think about it. It only happens one time in our lifetime. And we're going to have a conversation at halftime concerning this, but it's a very important day. It's been all over sports. You haven't watched sports today.
I have not watched ESPN at all
I
today.
know, and if you had, you would do this on ACC Network. They did nothing but play the best games of this person's throughout.
I know it's something to do with Michael Jordan, but I'm not sure.
So what's today's date? Come on.
Oh, okay. It's the 2nd of February, so 23.
23.
All
right, look at you. I got you. You're on that. you clicked in. I appreciate that. Over and back.
Okay, because I do remember seeing they said that Kyrie asking for a trade.
That's all. That's all it's been here.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, like 23. Jordan was like, "We're going to be talking about Michael Jordan because that's all that was first part." And the Kyrie said, "Here, hold my beer." And I know it's a high school game, but you can still hold my beer. And boom, that's all that's been on there since. Yeah. So I appreciate you not saying Kyrie Irving on that part. But yeah, it's interesting to think about basketball and the evolution of it all, and the publicity and what everybody gives in that situation.
Yeah, I saw, LeBron is supposed to be breaking that record soon.
Very close.
The tickets for that game, crazy.
Are they?
Yeah, it's like, I want to say either 12 or 13,000 for a ticket to that game.
Okay.
They're going to play in OKC, I believe.
Okay.
Because that's the one they're.
And I know what, and I'm yeah, and hopefully I'll tune in and pay attention and watch when that comes up. I'm not an anti-LeBron James fan by no means, so I'm not. I watched him do a couple playoff miracles where they did not win anything, but he came back by himself when he was playing for Cleveland.
Yeah.
He was playing against the Pistons one time. It was in the teens. No, it wasn't even the teens. It was in 2000s, probably 2008, 2009. You were how old?
2008.
Be quiet. I don't want to talk to you right now.
Middle school.
Middle school. Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you. But it was one of those ones where you were just watching him. He could not miss.
Okay.
And
first shot, no good by Queen Adams. Second shot up and good.
34 to 11 here. Roughly less than 90 seconds to go here in the first quarter at the Douglas Brothers Court. Is that the proper name?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. Live from Jonesboro High School. Anybody wants to name a court after score 58, you just call it Bo. And I'm okay with that. You just call it the Bo Court. Where are you at? I'm at the Bo Court.
So not score 58.
No. I'm gonna hold my own on that part. I'm just gonna say Bo. I'm not gonna give anybody else props to it.
Okay.
Just give me Bo. We'll put a B on one side of the court, an O on the other side, and it'd be like watching Oregon and with the trees, and call it a day.
I cannot stand Oregon's court.
You can't really.
It's
when I didn't. Oh, I disagree. I appreciate the creativity, but you're a person that doesn't like fire in any art or smoke or anything like that. And you've taught me simplicity, and I appreciate that. But when I look at the in the woods, I'm like, oh, that's beautiful. Like somebody really dug into that. I mean, Bob Ross would roll over in his grave if he heard you talk right now. And you know who Bob Ross is.
I do, and I'm okay with that. I mean, I don't need that many happy little trees in my life. So.
Oh, I'm muting you right now. I feel like I'm talking to Adam Collins and Craig Chapman all on the same network. Goodness gracious alive. Don't need that many happy trees. Deep three, off the mark.
Very distracting.
Very distracting. Getting right down to the end of the quarter. Not much time remaining here in the first half. Make sure you stay with us. We'll be back at the start of the third quarter. Roughly, high. You got to call that if you're going to throw that ball that high up in the air.
That was a great shot.
No, that was such a high. And they just running defense right now. And they're going to call a foul. Oh, no, a timeout. A timeout with 9.1 seconds. Once again, if Cedric goes to the scoreboard one more time, I'm going to come after him with teeth and nails. I will have a conversation with Maya to tell him to stop being an overachiever. We are live here at Jonesboro High School celebrating senior night, class of 2023 here for all the seniors. I'm Bo McMichael with Jennifer Colbert. We'll take a pause here at halftime, mainly because I want to get some stats updated, and we'll come right back in to give our own opinion about what we feel like is the best things in the world. Jennifer will be wrong, and I won't even be close to being right, but we just know that Jennifer will be wrong. Here we go. Clock is up and running. 10 seconds on the clock. The Mustangs of Morrow has the ball. Or have the ball, not has. My goodness.
And Jonesboro is coming straight up with the press and a turnover. So Jonesboro will dribble it out for these last couple of seconds.
Go ahead and put 8 minutes on the clock. We'll do a little clock right now. Time it down, and we'll be right back with you here on the Score 58 Network. Once again, I'm Bo McMichael with Jennifer Colbert. We'll be back real soon. right, ladies and gentlemen, get ready for some basketball. Second half about to start up. I got Jennifer Colbert. I almost said Jennifer Collins. I apologize. That's awesome. I'm not even giving her a mic on that part. Jennifer, 40-13. Looking at the stats right now, talk to me a little bit about what you see from the first half of play. Anything Morrow can do to be successful to get back into the game? Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be hard for Morrow. I mean, Jonesboro has turned their defense up to a spot where Morrow just hasn't been able to get good clean shots. And when they have, they just haven't dropped. So they're going to have to find a way to, I think, to get to the basket, probably get Jonesboro in some more foul trouble and try to get some of these foul shots.
I love the 50% shooting, though. I mean, that's nice on any range of that part.
Yeah.
0 for 10 in the three-point. Even though 2 for 8 is Jonesboro, but 0 for 10, that's rough.
Yeah.
Like I called Teddy. I was like, Teddy, is that stat right? But don't give me some bad stats right now.
I mean, it's really hard to come back in a game like this if your shots just won't drop. So, I mean, as far as the rest of their seasons have gone, I don't know how their offense has been performing as far as percentage-wise and whatnot, but it's hard to come back in a game like this without your shots dropping. You just you can't trade baskets when they're up this much.
No, back and forth like that,
Yeah.
It's not something you want to do. Now, as a basketball player, fan, do you like this view right now? Is this something that you could watch throughout a whole entire game?
Throughout a whole game, no. I mean, I like the view as an overview, kind of, them bringing the ball up the court. But as the only camera that I'm looking at, no.
So when they offer that on TNT or ESPN where they give the, what is it called? It's like the rim view.
Okay, yeah.
Where they show the two different views in that direction.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. It's great for highlights.
Okay.
And kind of seeing the overall action of the play, but I think it's just a little too unconventional, I'll say, when you're used to looking at this view.
Right. We're starting the third quarter here. Jonesboro 40. Morrow 13. 7:22 on the clock. High placement. The neatest thing about 2:23:23, meaning the 23:23 thought process, I watched a little bit of Sports Center and ESPN, and they had I love when I use my brain. It doesn't work. Michael Jordan, and who was the other person that could really do a great slam dunks?
That was with Mike?
Who?
I was saying that was in his era?
No,
or?
not around his era and after his era, kind of the heir apparent. He played for the Hawks for a second.
Oh, Vince Carter?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Man, I was thinking Tony Dorsett. I'm like, he's a football player, Bo. Do not say his name out loud. You will lose a lot of credibility. But it had Vince on the air, and they asked who was the better in-game dunker. And he kept just pointing to himself, and everybody's like, what do you mean? He wouldn't say anything. He just kept pointing to himself, and it was good. And everybody had that where Greenberg from ESPN was like, I'm not mentioning anything because Michael Jordan does not give – I mean, that man cannot let things go.
Okay.
No. Did you ever watch the whole the ESPN when they talked about the Bulls era where it –
Oh, the documentary? No, I didn't watch it.
You never watched it?
I hadn't gotten around to it.
Colbert, Jennifer.
It's so much to watch.
Jennifer, no. Oh, deep three, good. For the Cardinals, Jennifer. Yes. I'll give you my password. We'll get in trouble for it later. Okay? But goodness gracious.
It's on the list.
No, that's a list. That you being a basketball player, yeah. That's an interesting list right there. I mean, I will say that hands down.
Yeah, I mean, and it was interesting to me just because Michael Jordan's the whole Bulls era was before
I know.
So it's like it would be very interesting to watch and see kind of how all that played out.
And it was such a different era.
Yeah.
But, yeah, and I understand when you say that, so I grasp that, and I don't hold that against you. But I'm like, oh, no. It was and you never watched the HBO thing about where they did the mockumentary about the Lakers, correct?
Yeah, I did. I watched that.
You watch? Okay, I'm muting your mic. Ladies and gentlemen, Jennifer's off the air right now. She's not allowed to talk anymore. She's not willing to watch one, but she's going to watch a TV show. I don't even know how to deal with this. You're back on the air, Jennifer. Goodness gracious, you've lost some. I appreciate you watching that and doing that. And
yeah, that was a great show. I like that show.
listen to you. I appreciate that, where you could see that. I lived that time period, and then you were like, nah, I didn't really want to watch the whole Bulls era.
I just said I didn't want to. I just hadn't gotten around to
No,
it.
that was the pandemic. That's when ESPN's like, hey, nothing much going on in the sports world. Let's just bring it up a couple of notches and let everybody watch it. Well, right now we're 48-13. We apologize for the Braves of baseball analogies right now. If you don't understand that means, when it's 48-13 and we're talking about everything else other than the game that's going on, it's because realistically Jonesboro's taking care of their business right now. They're TCBing it, and that's okay.
Jonesboro came back out in the second half and turned their press back on. So they're not letting up their gas. Which is
no, they're definitely. I feel like they're working for the region tournament right now. I don't feel like they're being disrespectful towards Morrow.
Yeah.
By no means. I think they're really working towards getting themselves ready for region tournament, which is going to start in 2 weeks or a week and a half. Here live from Jonesboro High School, and they're right on the cusp of making if they win one game. And they get themselves into that game that matters, it's gonna hold a lot of relevance right now, of giving them a chance to make the tournament.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see a problem with making this kind of like an extended scrimmage or a practice, if you will. And
No, I
just
mean
kinda
6:54. They're
yeah.
going to run that clock here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And history-wise, a little bit about, we talked about Morrow's history. Jonesboro girls went through a span before the boys became the boys. The girls were the top Clayton County team.
Okay.
Okay, meaning if Forest Park who, that's what it realistically was. And Lovejoy wasn't even the conversation.
Okay.
Okay, before any of that. Jonesboro had, I mean, it was in early 2010, 2011, 2012. I mean, it had been a good minute in that situation.
And we never played, I don't remember us ever playing a Clayton County school. Just
Really?
kind of an out of region. Like we played, because my school was brand new, we played plenty of like the brand new Gwinnett schools. We went all the way out to like Mountain View.
Okay. But never, did you ever go into
Archer.
Henry County or anything like that?
I don't think so.
They're not allowed you to cross the border on that? Is that what you're telling me?
They didn't let us go below I-20. Yeah,
No, they'd be like, yeah, you're not allowed to go between I-20.
Yeah.
Things go down there. We just can't talk about that. You know, I mean, I understand that. 50-17 here, live from Jonesboro Gymnasium, the Douglas Brothers Court. I'm Bo McMichael with Jennifer Colbert here, bringing you basketball. We'll be here for the varsity boys game as well, getting ready for a little bit of senior region tournament. This is senior night, so stay with us between these two games. We'll go away for just a second and then pop it back on and get ready for senior night.
That's going to be a foul on Morrow instead of a jump ball. Jonesboro bringing the ball down the court. Player. And we got another whistle for a travel on Jonesboro.
How many times did you get got called for traveling?
A couple of times.
Did you? A
yeah.
couple?
Just a couple times. Yeah.
It's like asking me how many times you get caught for holding. How many times I get caught for a holding, or did the flag get? One time I got a flag thrown in my face mask, and it hit me in the eye. And you're not aware of this, but the flags in football, Jennifer, have like a little. They have like a weight.
Like
it's a weight to it. I'm like, bro, you just hit me in the eye. You realize that? I know I held the guy, but ain't no need to hurt me. And I mean, I was walking around with like a dead eye for a little bit. I was like, this is ridiculous.
That is a crazy turn of luck for that to go just perfectly through your face mask.
Oh, it did. And I was like, it was in high school. It wasn't in college. College, I wore a visor because that was cool back in the days to sweat and feel like you were going to die in that situation. They were like, hey, we should all wear visors. What happens if it's rain? Well, we're in trouble. That's all I can say.
Yeah, I mean, I was one of, especially freshman, sophomore year, I was one of those. I would run too fast for like everything else to keep up with it. So it was like.
Okay, first of all, you saying you run too fast. I'm sorry, I laugh. I throw jokes. It's all right. You won't show up to the gym with me. It's okay. It's no problem.
That was, back in my younger days.
Younger days. All right. Yeah. It's no problem.
I've been out of the game for a while.
Uh-huh. That's awesome that you were like, I was running too fast. Just things that weren't working out with me. I just need to make sure everything was good. That's good. I appreciate that.
Fast break layups was a little testing every now and then.
That'd be an understatement for me. But like, I don't know what happened with that.
But I got it together. So that's all that matters.
I got it together.
Jonesboro at the line shooting free throws. That went good for Queen Adams. And I believe that might have been a and one. So I'm going to go ahead and give her those points. And another turnover and a steal by Queen Adams, but they're going to call the ball dead. And it's probably going to be a travel call, where she looked like she wanted to get up and actually slam that one, so that would have been fun to see.
Yeah, no, she's that frustrated. Like, I don't think so. It's not where it's going to go down.
That would have been amazing to watch. Three-point attempt over the rim and no good for Morrow. Three-point attempt by Queen Adams, good. So she's having a game on her senior night.
Yeah, she made a point of making sure she had a game on her senior night.
And another steal by Adams to the layup and good. So I guess we can, confidently say who the player of the game is.
Oh, yeah, I definitely give her the player of the game on that part.
Another steal by number 5.
I mean, we're talking 64-17.
And that's going to be a timeout. And, I mean, just call this season what it is for Morrow, kind of a learning opportunity, kind of a rebuild for them. They just – you play, you get your skills up, and you try to go for a better outcome next year.
I think you have to in that situation, but the most importantly is they're building on something, and even Jonesboro right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, right now, Jonesboro has had multiple coaches come in and out on the varsity girls situation, and right now it's so nice to see consistency and to see, okay, hey, we're going to go in here. We got a new coach, and to me, the region tournament is wide open, and you want to see what's going to happen. I mean, if you look at the region tournament wise, if Morrow is playing, if you got 2 byes, meaning Lovejoy and Woodward, Forest Park's going to play Morrow. No. I don't know how they're going to do it. I'm going to have to look. I think there's only 1 bye. I don't know the region thing. It won't be decided until tomorrow, so I can't even guess of what maybe the outcome between Lovejoy and Woodward is in that situation.
It's wild that was not called a foul. But after the fast break, after the steal and the fast break, Morrow will go to the line to shoot 2. Player came up, just kind of snuck up behind the Jonesboro player and essentially did everything but tackle her, but got the ball away. Was not called a foul. They come back down on the other end, fouled them under the basket, but the first free throw was no good. Second attempt coming up. That one's no good as well. Jonesboro with the rebound. So Jonesboro with their second unit out there, it looks like Queen Adams is not on the floor. And that's a turnover by Jonesboro, so Morrow will take possession right at half court. That'll be a foul on Jonesboro. So Jonesboro right now looks like they have a couple of their freshmen out on the floor just trying to get some time. Number 12, Raina Brown. Number 30, Cameron Bowden, is a sophomore. 21, Kaylin Ross, also a sophomore. Morrow goes up, shoot free throw. First one is good.
Were you ever able to leave the game with applause? Like, you know, at the senior night where they let you all go?
I don't remember.
I love your memory on that part.
So bad.
Me, never.
Never?
Never got that opportunity. No. They were like, you need to stay in. We still got business to do. It was college and high school both.
Okay.
That wasn't the case. The only thing I ever have claim to fame, and I'll overshare because it is 64-18. We're talking about senior night. My senior year in college, playing football up in Maryville, they said, hey, they're going to introduce us individually. And I'm like, if they do that, I'm going to do a dance. Because I was madly in love. Like, I would have married Deion Sanders if I had an opportunity.
Okay.
I mean, we weren't at that point in the world that I could marry Deion and be acceptable type thing. But, I mean, now I could marry him. I mean, I know he's married. We can move to Utah together. I'll work through that. So he's not listening to this, so I'm okay with that. But I literally did the best Deion dance I could do, and I was a big boy. I was an offensive lineman, but I was like, I'm going to dance. When they introduced me and run off, my mom and dad just shook their head. But like, you could see my dad take off anything that represented 58. He'd be like, I'm not claiming him.
I don't know that kid.
No. My mom went from woo
to
just
quiet.
dead silence when you get the camera on that part. It was good. It made me smile.
I think that's going to be a lane violation on Morrow, so that basket is not going to count.
Coming to the end of the third quarter of action here. Glad to have everybody with us. Reminding you all, stay tuned with us. We got senior night, but most importantly, we got the varsity boys game as well. Start of the fourth quarter right on their way. Sit back with us. We'll have another chance to listen to Bo and Jennifer talk a little bit about basketball and realistically about nonsense. Hopefully the Jonesboro-Morrow game, varsity boys, will be a little bit tighter, but as Jennifer walked in, Jennifer, I did state this. I said, this game's going to be rough.
You did.
I did. I was like, based on everything that I've researched, I'm like, this could be a rough game. And that has nothing against Morrow. Morrow, I don't feel like they've given up. But I'm impressed with Jonesboro's shooting capabilities to roll off 64 points because we've seen a lot of – I've witnessed some games this year. We have an opportunity to work for a couple of teams. And we even have a team that scored 0 points the whole game. Okay?
That's rough.
Oh, I went back and watched the film because when my filmer said, hey, the score was da-da-da, da-da-da, I'm like, no, man, you just making that stuff up. Now you're going to make me watch the film. And it was very interesting to watch overall-wise. Start of the fourth quarter of action. They put 6 minutes on the clock because it's going to be a shortened half. Make sure you stay with us for senior night here on the Score 58 Network, where we get to acknowledge the cheerleaders and most of the varsity girls and the varsity boys basketball team, including managers as well.
So right out of the quarter break, we have a foul on Jonesboro.
As I say that, I get a score of 44-2 at halftime.
And who's this?
No, not
Okay.
And nobody's allowed to name names.
All right.
Based on the world that we live in, if you name names, things go down.
It's the end of the season, like, and you're going to have those games. You hope that you don't as a program, but you're going to run into a team that's a lot better than you at some point. So it's all about character building, making sure you don't give up. You get something good out of the game.
I mean, even to the point where you got 18 points from Morrow's perspective.
Right.
Let's see how they're playing defense.
And like you said, I mean, they haven't given up. They've still been playing hard, playing the best defense that they can.
I've watched teams where you can feel that where they've given up. And I don't feel like
I've played in games where it's just like, why are we still out here?
And you were the team that was like, why are we still out here?
Yes.
Oh, Culver, don't share that out loud. I got named player of the game one time. We got beat. Oh, we got beat bad, 42-0.
Okay.
In football. And I was named the offense and defensive player of the game.
Oh, man.
I was the center and the defensive lineman. Okay, do you understand how they were like, yeah, he was the only guy. The only reason I got named is because I was the one able to get off the field. I was so tired, I just laid there. And they were like, well, he must be giving all he got. Nah, I couldn't move.
That was everything.
That was it. I had nothing left in the tank. So, live here from Jonesboro High School, I'm Bowman Michael with Jennifer Colbert, bringing you some Jonesboro Lady Cardinal basketball. Last game of the season versus the Morrow Lady Mustangs. Jonesboro's dominating 68-20. Another 2 points in the basket. Stay with us. We will go off the air for just a slight second and bring back the senior acknowledgement where all the parents get to come out. Ooh, good jump shot. She just threw that up from her shoulder. I'm just saying, I've done some power presses lately, and that was a good power press of that ball. Somebody asked me to go to the gym today, and I'm not going to my second gym today. I had no desire at all. I was like, my body is sore and tired. I'm going to show you a picture of me here in the second quarter of the second game for those people to stay with us. That's what we call a teaser. To see, hey, who's this guy calling this game? If I ever find a basketball picture of Miss Colbert, we're throwing it up there.
You'll never find it.
Really? I call Mom and Dad. I don't mind to call Pops. I've taken care of Pops. I've sent Pops to some movies. We got some movies planned up here in the spring and in the summer. I think Pops will be joining us for those. So I think he might be wanting to see some Indiana Jones.
If a picture of me and my basketball is the admission price, you can't go.
And you'd be like,
I won't tell him.
I love when you told him you're gonna see Top Gun Maverick. He's like, so when we leaving?
Right.
That was the best comment.
Trying to beat me to the car. So
here on Score 58 Network, every now and then, we like to rent out movie theaters and invite my whole staff to enjoy some movies. And sometimes the sidekicks of my staff love to show up. That's the best way I can put it.
Yeah.
So that was a double touch, yeah. Back to Jonesboro. Good effort from Morrow trying to knock it out, but it went back on to Jonesboro. Do you think Kyrie has a landing spot?
I
think he's going to end up with the Lakers. You know, I mean that's what it feels like. But I'm just like, I want to hug him and say, is he just not happy?
I mean, the Nets are.
I mean, where did he go? He went from where to where? He went to Cleveland. From Cleveland to where?
He went.
I thought only thing went to Cleveland to New Jersey, right?
He might have went from Cleveland to the Nets.
Okay.
I don't remember him playing for anybody else.
Okay. All right. Celtics. No, Celtics.
You're right. Yep.
Yeah.
He was at the Celtics for
He went Celtics, and then he went to.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. If we're wrong, look for Jennifer Colbert on Twitter and Facebook. You can Google her on 1-4 Visual. She is
You mean, at Score 58, right? That's what you
at
meant.
Score Sports 58.
Yep, Score Sports 58.
Give me the score. If you would do Score Sports 58, that's some company in California that keeps arguing with me across that. Good free throw shot.
But yeah, I mean, somebody will definitely pick him up. The Lakers are trying to figure it out.
They are. God bless them. And if there's teams that want to be relevant, that helps the NBA be, in that part. The one thing that I can't understand, and maybe you can explain it to me here shortly, Atlanta beating the heavens out of Phoenix.
Yep.
I can't understand that.
And I actually didn't watch that game.
I know. West Coast wise, I'm no. Unless I'm in the middle of work, I'm not. Like tonight, they play Utah at 9 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
My goal is to be in bed by 10:30. So
okay.
We're going to be done here. I'm like, yeah, no.
I mean, from what I've heard, they're going to bust that whole Suns team up in the offseason. So.
But I feel like the Suns were on a rise.
They were.
And they still are? I mean,
I don't know.
Okay. You give me some words. I feel like we got to have a TV show now based on Jennifer's insight. We called it the JI. I mean, some people call it the FBI. I call it the JI. So
they were on a run for a good two or three seasons. I think just injuries.
Booker's still on the team. Hurt. Is Booker still there?
Booker's still there, yeah.
Who did you say was hurt?
I said
Chris Paul.
Chris Paul's been hurt a lot this season. He's getting older, so it's kind of a.
Yeah. You talk about a journeyman.
Yeah. And
Chris
he's
Paul,
been in the league for a long time.
He has.
So.
Enough that I was in college when he was playing basketball.
Okay, he was with the Pelicans?
No, he was Wake Forest.
Oh, Wake Forest. Okay,
Listen to you. Pelicans? Nah, he was with Wake Forest.
Got you.
Like, so, I mean, he's been there a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Enough, 20-plus years.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been there. He just never has had the opportunity to be on a team.
And a monster play by Queen Adams, just going to get that ball.
She getting her points.
Yep. Just the determination to get the ball.
Okay, first of all, I haven't seen 80 from a girls' team in quite a while.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree with you.
I mean, that's how I'm looking, and I'm like, 80. I was like, wow, okay.
Morrow looking to close this game
out.
Interesting
they don't take Queen out.
She had a good rest, and that's just a attempted pass.
Your favorite concession food, before we get out of here, because I know the clocks are running, favorite concession food at a basketball game?
Oh, got to be the fries.
You can go with the fries. If they didn't have the fries, where are you going? Don't say it.
Probably the nachos.
No, you can't go with the nachos. Can't go with the nachos.
It depends on what mood. If I'm in the mood to, if I'm hungry, you got to get something that's going to fill you up.
I know. I'd be at West Forsyth, and they'd sell hot dogs for $1.
Okay.
West Forsyth lady, no, it's North Forsyth, Lady Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd be starving at halftime between the two games. I'm like, just give me 3 hot dogs for $1. I didn't care what it was.
Yeah, I'm good for the wait until the fourth quarter when they start giving the hot dogs
and
away.
They make that announcement.
Yep.
You'd be like, hey, so what's going on?
We got hot dogs for 50 cents.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I'll take that.
Yeah. The one thing you've never experienced is what is the room called where they have free food there for coaches?
Like a hospitality?
Oh,
yeah.
The hospitality room.
Yeah.
One time I was a wrestling coach back in the day, many. Larry Mortensen moons ago. I was a horrible wrestling coach. That's all. As much as I don't want to admit that out loud, I can say that now.
Yeah.
I'd be like, hey, sir, can you just lay on your back so we can go home? I'm really ready to go home. But they, every now and then, be like, hey, what's going on with the hospitality? They were like, isn't your guy up right now? And
you're up there trying to get food?
Oh. And I'd be sitting with a plate up. Yeah, you want to up on this one. Oh, I was, yeah.
Yeah, we always had the like the Cab County Winter Tournament at our school, so we had the hospitality room and all that stuff. And it was,
it's all about if you can get a good hospitality room on that part.
It was great. Yeah. Wasn't supposed to be in there, but you always gotta go.
Oh no, you gotta make sure everything's okay.
Yeah, check it on.
What can I do to help?
There you go.
Grab this, and this.
There you go. About 16 seconds left in the game right now.
80-29.
Took care of business on their senior night.
They did. They made sure that they were going to win. Everybody's getting in the gym right now, getting ready for senior night here. We will go off the airs for just a second here and get ourselves set for the varsity boys game. Stay with us. We'll have senior night here shortly, live from YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Vimeo. I'm Bowman Michael with Jennifer Colbert. Thank you so much for tuning in and realistically tolerating us. If you muted us, that's okay. We'll show the stats at the start of the first game for the varsity boys, or the last game of the varsity boys. Thank you so much for tuning in with us. I'm Bowman Michael with Jennifer Colbert. We'll be bringing you senior night here shortly. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Live is the place to be for quality broadcast for you to see. They deliver prime coverage like Amazon. No matter what day of the week you see them on, you don't need to double check. The truth is clearer than air. Treat it like a viral video and share. There's no comparison.